Imagine being able to travel to any point in time. Where would you go? And what would you do? You could witness some of the greatest moments in history.
That's gotta be Kane!
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Turnbuckle Time Machine, and we actually have a pretty decent Raw, would you say?
Just when we think we figured it all out, they go ahead and flip the whole script on us, Robert.
I do enjoy it though. I feel like we're getting at the point where it's just like, do we even do predictions because we know kind of what goes on, but
we don't know what's going on.
We don't know.
But I think we got it all figured out now after this episode.
Do you think that our Wrestle Vessel going back in time changes the actual future? And I'm like, yeah.
But we have no way of knowing.
Yeah. Who knows?
At least not now. I bet maybe a year from now when we know like a lot of the results going in, we'll be able to tell if it changes.
Are we why? Are we the reason Shawn Michaels retired?
We are why.
We are why.
We are why. We are why. We
are why.
We are why. Cans for cans.
Cans for kids. Cans for kids. I'm not gonna put anything there.
No, you just cans for our cans for cans logo.
Oh.
You have it.
C for C, baby. C for C. Let's where do we even do we start? Let's start it off because it's the main event.
Yeah. So the main event's also the first match. And we mentioned it last episode and probably prior episodes. The winner of that Final Four match and In Your House was going to have to defend the title the next day. You know, no time off or anything against Sycho Sid because he was the number one contender for Shawn Michaels' title before he had to step away. And so we're starting this off. Bret Hart, Sycho Sid.
That's right.
Getting it going.
And that's how I knew. I'm like, it's going to be a great Raw. They're doing the main event first.
Also made me think, well, they're not going to give the title up, so it's already a predetermined result.
But before we can even talk about it, Stone Cold comes out and he's causing a little bit of chaos here.
Yes. He just starts, it's before the bell's rung, so no disqualifications to worry about, but he's beating up Bret Hart pretty hard right from the get-go, and even Sycho Sid is like, what's going on here? He steps in, starts punching Stone Cold with his sweet punches that he throws like that.
Yeah, Tom and I were discussing during this match
like a 4-year-old would punch, or like your ex-girlfriend.
Like a 4-year-old would punch.
But
or like an ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I know those punches.
Why would you do that to me? That was your ex-girlfriend impression.
Yeah, it was a great one. After the 12th one, that's when the cameras come off. And you're wearing sunglasses like Sable.
Yes. And so he's getting in on Stone because he obviously doesn't want him interrupting his match and ruining any chance he has at this title. And then there's a ton of refs trying to break this all up. And as they pull Sid off, Stone Cold goes for a chop block on him and pretty much like blows out his knee, it seems like.
Yeah.
Because he is in severe pain. He's screaming, damn it, over and over again. And obviously will not be able to fight right now. So we're thinking...
How good is Body Glove for elbow pads? I thought they were just for scuba divers. He's rocking the Body Glove brand. Maybe not good for the knees?
Not good for the back of the knee, at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll know that next time I go diving.
Yeah, no, don't dive head first.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In the shallow end, you don't break your neck.
I don't want that.
No.
So what are we doing with this match? It's postponed,
so I guess
right?
it's out. We're done. I mean, like, you think his knee's just going to miraculously recover? Later?
It might.
I don't think so.
It might.
So that was like lame. We're thinking we've been this whole match build for the last few weeks actually, and then now we're just not even going to get it. Not that we were that excited for it because it's Sycho Sid and he's not that good at what he does.
Yeah.
He is an imposing figure though. And so the Raw will just carry on.
So let's carry on. We get Savio Vega, as we talked about the last podcast, the newest member of the Nation of Domination. Still hasn't changed his clothes, though.
No, it doesn't seem like he's going to.
Still repping Puerto Rico, I guess.
Yeah, well, he is still Puerto Rican, even though he's in the Nation.
That doesn't change?
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
I mean, the Nation of Domination is like, you could just, you're just part of it. You could be a citizen. Like, you don't have to be a citizen. He has a green card for the Nation of Domination.
Mm-hmm. He's not on a visa?
No, I don't know that he's on a... Maybe it's a work visa. Okay. Similar to a green card, though. Kind of not that different.
Sure, in a
just
way.
the color of the card. So, he's
just the beginning 4 digits change.
Yeah. So, he's still wearing his Puerto Rico outfit, and maybe they just haven't gone to where he prefers to get his wrestling clothes made yet, so that he hasn't been able to do it.
Sure. He's like, half the time I wrestle in the dark anyways, so does it really matter? Savio Vega versus Mark Mero, and to what I was talking about earlier, Sable coming out again with all sunglasses. It reminded me a
Did you
bit,
say all sunglasses?
All sunglasses.
Like she's just only wearing sunglasses?
It's all black,
No, yes.
so
Okay,
it's all shade, you know what I mean?
It's
all shade, yeah. Was she in all leather last time we saw her?
Yeah, she was the same outfit, I think, as last night.
Daddy like.
Oh, I'm a leather guy. I'm into the leather.
Yeah, not a big dominatrix guy, but leather is good, right? Or
leather's cool.
Are you a dominatrix guy?
Like as if I were the dominatrix, or would I be into dominatrix?
No, all men are dominatrix. It's like, do you like to be dominated?
Oh, I've never had the opportunity, but I mean, depending on who.
Swipe up if you want to.
Depending on who you are, I'd give you a shot.
Yeah.
You're Sable, sure. Sonny, sure.
Oh, see, I guess that's a good point because I would say no to dominatrix, but to who?
Yeah.
Sonny? Yeah.
Not now, but then.
No, God,
no.
We're talking prime. Anytime, for the record, anytime we're talking women, unless we're specified, we're talking prime.
Right. Optimus Prime women.
Yes. There is a segment here, kind of mid-match. I guess the beginning of the match is a little boring, but there's a couple kids outside the ring, right beside Jared the King Lawler and Jim Ross, and they have ECW rule signs. And King has one of the signs that he grabbed from the kid, and he's basically shitting on the company that ECW.
Well, it is extremely crappy wrestling. Why
did he make that pun?
No,
I feel like that's a King.
Yeah,
that's
it is
a King line,
but he has not yet said it. I don't think. Maybe he did back the one time they kind of tried to interrupt when they were in Philadelphia.
And he tried to say it, but it was just.
I mean, it's a good line. It's a good line.
What is he saying? He's basically saying that ECW is nothing compared to the WWF at the time. They do arenas and malls, and they're filling out arenas.
Yeah.
And he basically says that ECW could basically bring their top guys, and they can't even beat anybody in the WWF. In a nutshell.
Right. I think he challenges them to bring the top guys next week. I don't know if he's going to face them, what the deal is, but he's not a fan of ECW.
No, but there's a pretty cool spot where Mero does a front flip outside the ring and hits Savio Vega, and there's a Nation of the Domination kind of laying around like a pack of hyenas here. And Sable defends her man, Mark Mero, and starts kicking one of the Nation of Domination members.
Yes. She's doing the dominating, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's wearing the leather.
Try to keep up.
And the sunglasses.
So the Nation of Domination shortly chases Sable back into the ring, and the bell rings. What is that for? A DQ on who?
I don't remember. I thought we covered it. Did we figure this out?
No, I asked several times, and then something crazy happened. Then we started talking about an outfit. Crazy? The bell rang. Sonny runs into the ring to run away.
Not Sonny, Sable.
Oh, we've been drinking.
But I don't know why. I think probably because they were trying to beat up Sonny. Or it's just not fuck. You got me, man.
Tom's been drinking.
I've been drinking. I've been trying to copy Robert and his style of saying the wrong names to make it more confusing for our listeners.
A couple beers away from actually killing an entire case today.
Well, we also ate some pizzas.
We did eat pizzas.
So I think I think that's.
I wish we did it at the same time.
I think that's why, though, is because...
Can we? 1, 2, there you go.
I think that's why they disqualified them, because they were going to beat up Sable, and you can't beat up chicks if you're dudes.
Correct.
Yes.
You can't. So, who's going to save the day here?
Yeah, they all kind of surround Mark Miro like they're all just going to beat the shit
Mark
out.
Miro's like going after one, but there's a pack of
They're
domination.
like it's like the Lion King with the hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's like? It's like the end of the Lion King when all the hyenas go after Scar. That's kind of what it's like, but totally like reverse roles because they're the bad guys.
Can we talk Disney on YouTube? Can we even mention Disney?
Yeah.
I feel like they're higher up on that North Korean thing, so they
The
might.
North Korean thing.
We talked about North Korea, and I didn't even want to touch.
Oh, like
on
you
the
were
subject.
afraid of North Korea?
I'm more afraid
You're
of Disney than I am.
Disney has much more power than
Of
North
course.
Korea. Much more money,
Yeah.
too.
I know.
More Korean fans, I bet.
Ahmed 2x4 comes out, and he's looking, dare I say, loose?
Right here. You see that on the, but I'll try to describe it to you with words.
Describe it to the listeners.
So
please.
it's like a coral, almost like it's not suede, but like.
It looks suede.
It could
It's probably
be
not
suede,
suede, but it looks suede.
But like, you know that really like comfy blanket material or pajama material? Like, but it's.
Whatever you're
coral.
thinking, add like 800 more thread count.
Yeah.
Because I know you're thinking comfy.
Yeah.
Add more thread count.
But like it's coral in color, like so almost salmon, maybe not quite salmon. And,
I would say between salmon and coral is
Yeah.
a great description.
And it's just so loose fitting, and you got like I don't know how you could be mad and try to hit somebody with a 2x4 when wearing these clothes. I would be lounging and just like eating some grapes and maybe sipping some tea. I don't know. Maybe just rubbing my crotch or something. Whatever you would do. It would feel nice to rub any part of your body in this outfit. So that's what I would be doing. Especially if I had a giant schlong like Ahmed probably has. I think that would be pretty nice. But, everybody's got their priorities, and he likes to bring 2x4s out to the ring. And
Who said that's on his dick?
That's his dick, that it just detaches from his body, and it's more of a light tan color.
Sure.
Like a chocolatey brown.
Sure.
Good for him. They should call him Ahmed Detachable Wiener instead of Ahmed 2.
We'll get to that. I think the crowd chants that after this.
So
Instead of you're going down, it's you're coming off. You're coming off. Don't make him pop the trunk. That's where he keeps it, in the trunk.
that's a pretty big trunk, if you ask me.
Well, never mind. Never mind.
But he saves the day, nonetheless, and the crowd goes wild.
Who did it better, him or Jacksaw?
Hacksaw?
Or I said, did they Jacksaw?
Yeah, you get one of them Jacksaws.
Yeah, rub my wood.
How much for Jacksaw, sir? You got to ask it, so you can't afford it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you mean?
Yes.
He probably did it better. Ahmed does it more comfortably.
It's a brilliant answer. That's a brilliant answer. He does it more comfortably. He's a natural. So our next match, we have another title match, guys. IC title. Remember who's the IC champion? Rocky Maivia.
And this is how you know wrestling doesn't make sense back then, or probably even now. At the pay-per-view, we just watched Mark Miro beat Leif Cassidy.
Correct. Not to mention, we rarely see Leif Cassidy.
Rarely see Leif, especially in singles.
And he was like, you know what? I lost fair and square.
Yeah.
Fair and square.
Fair and square.
I should probably get an IC title
And now
shot.
he has an IC title shot against...
On a random brawl.
On the next day. The
Next day, yeah.
The guy he lost to just fought and narrowly escaped death by Ahmed 2x4 saving him. And now we're talking, this other guy gets the IC title match.
I know you want me. I know that you want my love. I hope those are the lyrics, right?
I don't care.
I know. Okay, good.
That's what
I'll
I
sing
want.
one more time. I know you want me. Yeah, I know that you want my love. Sunny, ladies and gentlemen.
Looking good. She's
Speaking-
got pink outfit and a nice like white boa. Looking, you know, I never was big on those boa things. You'll show the picture of her here.
God damn it.
But she looks good, and now I get it. I get the boas.
Can we talk?
Can we bring boas back?
Sure, why not?
Is that what they are, boas? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
When you said that, I'm like, I was going to say something else, but you said boas. I'm like, I feel like boas is right. Have Klaus look that up, what a boa is.
Yeah, I'll have Klaus look
I feel
that
like we
up.
don't know. After this whole Ahmed thing, I really don't understand what fashion is anymore. I mean, we talk cat hats. Remember the cat in the hat? Cat in the hat?
Cat in the Hat is my favorite fashion statement thus far.
The Kango hat.
Until maybe now the boa. I don't know.
Look up the boa. But while you're doing that, because I think Klaus is sleeping,
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sunny doesn't have the biggest cans, but she has the perfect nips. Do we agree?
Yeah, but they're also the best cans, maybe. And current, well, no, never mind. I take that back. It's the third best. She has the third best cans, but she's still the hottest.
Let's rank cans for a minute.
Right now?
In
Like,
are you
current
talking about
1997, February 17th?
Yeah, for sure. I know Marlena's up there.
Marlena's number one.
Okay.
And then it's Sable. And then it's Sunny. And then that's all of them.
Okay, so what are we basing that off of a scale on? Size, perfection? You have to also throw in the fact that Sunny doesn't have implants.
I think she does.
You do think so?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Hondo P at this point is.
Hmm.
I thought that maybe she had gotten them over the last few months, and that's why we didn't see her for a while.
Wow, that is actually
Because
pretty
she started coming back like 2-3 weeks ago, and then now we see her nipples all the time, and it's like, oh, they're all up in your face about it. And I think that that might be what happened.
I feel like you're right about that because we haven't seen, like, obviously she was hot before, but now we're seeing.
But there were
like,
no nip action. Now we're seeing nips on a regular basis.
Since she came back, it was been
nips.
strict nip action.
Yeah.
Let's look that up and we'll revisit that on.
I mean,
let's
we'll
fucking do it now.
look up boa. I looked up boas. I can look up nips. Sunny.
Well, not on my Wi-Fi. Get off my Wi-Fi. But I feel like, I mean, if they're not implants, I feel like, I don't know. I'm not like, they don't have to be the biggest cans, but I'm like, if they're, you know.
No, it's
if
not
they're
all
right.
about size.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying.
I mean, there's a whole difference in.
But we actually haven't seen, because there's another hidden gem on here where we need to talk about, and that's areola.
Yeah, well,
Dudes,
we're not
some
seeing the
dudes-
areolas.
I think areola comes down to preference though too. Some dudes like a big areola.
Like you're talking. Well, why are we talking about guys' areolas right now?
Well, if we can't be sexist here on the podcast, Tom.
Yeah, but this is a cans question, right?
Yeah,
Guys
can
don't.
have cans.
No, I mean no.
You had a can story.
Yeah, no, I can return cans to get cans.
See, I'm getting confused.
You would.
Have you not been returning titties this whole time?
So.
What do we got? Sorry, there's probably a lot of dead air.
There's
but
gonna be
Tom's
dead air
like,
here.
I'll just sing the Sunny song. I know you want me. I know that you want my love. I gotta look those lyrics up too.
You should.
I know
It's so.
you want me. I can't stall for much longer.
Here's
Tom.
what's tough.
I know that you want my love.
Here's what's tough. So this is an article: 10 WWE divas with the best boob jobs. Sunny's number one. And
Say less, dude.
No.
Say
But I
less.
do want to say this because it's interesting. During the 1996 Survivor Series, Sunny did special guest commentary, which we talked about. It was hilarious, involving Mark Miro, who's managed by Sable. Sunny savagely rips into Sable throughout the match. Her nuclear levels of jealousy apparent for all to see. Amidst accusing her of being cold and personalityless, Sunny takes a specific swipe at Sable's implants, warning her not to get too close to the pyro. I hear those things are flammable. But then JR responds saying, well, you would know something about that.
I must have missed all that.
She denies it on the spot. and the flippant remark went unheralded for years, but in retrospect, it's blindly obviously outing Sonny, and she didn't care for it. And it said Sonny did indeed go under the knife. It was a small and subtle, and in the wake of her magnetic personality, perhaps insignificant.
Dude, you hit on the head with that.
Right.
Right. So the last time we saw her was probably that interview.
Right.
Right.
And then she was like, "Fuck it, I'm getting boobs. My boobs."
Yeah.
And then we saw her, and again, it's not like they're giant or totally different, but the nipples are out now.
Yeah. I thought maybe she just had like 2 ice cubes backstage that she would just rub and then come on out.
Yeah, probably.
It's more organic that way.
Yes. So yeah, we were right about the whole thing.
All right.
But again, if we're going to rank the cans, I
feel like I haven't seen Sables enough, to be honest with you. I haven't.
No? I think so. I mean, right now, okay, I'd agree. Maybe we haven't, but I bet we will soon. But I'd say right now, if we're going purely cans, Marlena, Sonny, Sable, in that order.
I agree.
If we're going hotness, Sonny, Sable, Marlena.
Correct.
And if we're going, what I don't know what else, most Somas, Sonny.
Yeah. That's on a Sunny scale of 1 to Sunny.
Yeah, that's on the Sunny scale. Sunny scale up.
Let me ask you this. I feel like drink every time I say, let me ask you this. let me pick your brain here, Tom.
That's what we're here for, guys.
Let me pick your brain. I feel like this is happening to me right now. Is watching 90s wrestling, because it is all about the cans again, is it making you more of a tit guy than... Are you an ass or tit guy?
That's tough. I think I've historically been more of a boob guy, but I think as I'm maturing, I'm leaning more towards the ass. But I appreciate both almost equally at this point.
Of course, you have to appreciate both. If you don't, you're a psychopath.
Yeah, GB probably doesn't.
No.
But yeah, no,
But I feel like watching this is kind of making me more of a can guy than an ass guy.
Right. Watching this, yeah, because like there's no ass in the 90s. I mean,
right, but then like I'll watch.
Then the Funkettes come out and
yeah,
like, what are you gonna do? So
that Atlanta ass. So no, like I'll watch this and then like I mean half my Instagram is just like, and I don't even know how, but it's just always just like asses, and I don't like follow these people, but it's just like. And normally I'm just like, oh, like great asses, right? Mm. That's what Instagram's basically for. But now I'm just like, kind of leaning back to the cans.
That's good.
Maybe this is.
I think the way I've always justified it is I think that, and this may be getting way too like existential or weird about everything, but I think as you grow up, how do women differentiate themselves? Like as you're like a teenager growing up, like where does the change happen to where you're like, oh, this girl's attractive, or I want to, I think she's sexy. It's because they start to grow boobs, and you're like, oh shit, that's hot. And so now you're a boobs guy because that's the first thing you notice. And then
let's even rewind that from back, because I think when you're younger and you're a kid, like having big tits means you get fed as a baby. So maybe you keep that.
I mean, even so, biologically, subconsciously.
There's probably something in that DNA, right?
Yeah. And then eventually you get old enough to where you're like, man, I want to slap her butt cheeks together.
Or like she's fit, then she can survive my offspring, right?
She has the childbearing hips.
Childbearing hips, too, yeah.
It's all biological shit, but I do think there's something societally to say, like, okay, this is what gets you going for a while. Like, everything changes, sexuality's fluid, whatever, but... I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. But I do think that if you're exposed to, like, say we're in the 90s and nobody's, like, flaunting their giant asses. No. Because nobody did that. Of course you're going to be a tits guy. Yeah. But now everybody's like, yo, I got ass.
Yeah. They got but I feel like with it, like, a lot of it is, like, genetics, right? Like, if you kind of have, like, tits or you don't, but, like, an ass you can work out. You put in work for that.
But they have fake boobs now. You can work out and get an ass.
Did fake boobs ruin? Like maybe we love boobs too much that they got fake, and we're like, we don't like them anymore.
I think that's probably part of it. I do think that's probably part of it.
Like
I am less into fake boobs in real life now, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'd much
agree with
rather
that.
have fat ass than nice fake boobs.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a good steak is great, but now that, like, if Denny's is serving a steak at 9 a.m., it's like, what is steak anymore? Like,
Right.
a nice steak dinner, you used to, like, you know?
Right.
Man, save up for that nice steak dinner.
So
You
what's
got a
the steak
promotion,
dinner
nice
in this?
steak
What's the
dinner.
steak dinner in this?
Steak
situation?
dinners with tits, and then Denny's got steak, and it's just like, fake. You know? You'd be like, all right, steak for dinner. It's not that much of a flex anymore.
Right, not steak in general. It was like, oh, I spent $50 for the steak.
Right.
But isn't
Well,
that
there's
more
different.
the
There's
fake
like
boobs? Isn't that
USDA
more the
prime
fake-
steak.
But
And
I would say that's more the fake boobs because it's like, I spent the money for it.
well, no, I mean, like, if you have like USDA prime steak, that is good. No, like, no matter how you cook that steak,
But you gotta
it's,
pay
like,
for
good.
it.
True, yeah, you do have to pay for
But
it.
I guess you got to pay for the real good boobs too. It's like you got to buy her that steak. You know?
Yeah. No one eats for free.
If you guys need any more psychological sexuality conversations, look up our new podcast, Turnbuckle Boob Machine.
Great name. It took us 3 weeks to come up with that.
We were workshopping a lot of
Yeah.
different options, and we're like, well, let's go live with the Turnbuckle Boob Machine tonight. So swipe up, follow us.
Turnbuckle. What's about the turnbuckle? I was like, it's kind of a spin-off of what we already do. Hit that like button and subscribe for sure. Do we even get into
But let us
something-
know. We'll probably do a poll when this episode comes out, boobs or butts.
Yeah, we'll do
Maybe.
boobs or butts.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fine. By the
Do you
way,
think that'll be more competitive than this 500 cats versus a silverback gorilla?
I know this is probably going on in weeks, but just take a look at that poll. I try not to show what day it is, because like last time we talked about like the NFC Championship, and by the time you're watching this, the Super Bowl has probably already happened.
Yeah, which year?
Go Bengals!
Jesus, so this is like a runaway. 77% silverback gorilla, 23% 500 cats. But they're not. You guys aren't thinking about this properly. 500 cats.
Do you want to do a Facebook Live after this?
No, I just want people. Let's listen. But they haven't even honestly listened to the episode where we talk about that yet, because you just released it,
It's out
and
on
it's not
YouTube.
even on. It's not even on Spotify yet, which is most of our listeners.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's let this sit for a couple weeks, and then we'll come back to it.
How dare you not talk about Podbean, dude?
Hey,
We got
I
some
love
people on
I love
Podbean.
flicking the pod beam.
I'm not putting anything there.
No, you don't have to. I'm doing the
Okay,
whole thing.
all right. Do it again.
Is there more raw? Is there more raw?
Kinda. Yeah. Savio Vega versus Mark Merrow, as we talked about.
Did we do this
Oh
already?
yeah, we did. So yeah, we did. We were reminiscing about the IC title. Sonny comes out, nice snips in the notes. We are teased though that is it the next Raw that's going to be in Berlin, Germany?
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So
The
speaking
finals.
of doing a European tour, let's talk about the launch of the European Championship belt. For those that are just listening, we got it on the table, baby. The real, authentic one.
Yes, the one that they win at this tournament. So I guess they're going to just be the finals, and there's been a tournament going on. And I want to know, Rob, and we should put a car bomb on this.
100%. But
Who?
let's talk tournaments, because the
There's
last
no-
tournament, I was very disappointed with the Karate Fighters tournament.
Yeah, but the tournament before, Mark Miro won the Intercontinental Championship. So it's 50-50 on tournaments so far. Not to mention the King of the Ring,
Let's,
which we did expect.
Let's get the Tampa guy to bring us
Karate
Karate Fighters
Fighters?
down to Texas when we go down there.
Yeah, if he can. I mean, we're probably closer to if they still exist in his family. We probably are close. I don't think he took them down to Florida with him, but we can ask. We'll ask him. Let us know. Swipe up and let us know if you brought them back to Florida with you, or we'll have to bring them with this whole. Or should we bring the podcast stuff? Should we do an episode down there?
Maybe.
Well, this is where we get the real talk about the cans. Okay, we really rate the
Oh,
cans
yeah.
down there. Never mind. That's neither here nor there.
Okay,
I
so
think-
let's talk
talk this
tournaments.
year to
Let's talk
European. So we don't know what the tournament is. We don't know who's
Do we
involved.
give 2 wrestlers?
No, I want you to tell me who's going to be the champion, and I'll tell you who I think is going to be the champion.
Okay. So I'm thinking if it's going to be at least around, out of North America, my first initial thought is probably British Bulldog. But I'm also leaning against maybe Hunter Hearst Helmsley gets it because he lost the IC title.
That could be.
But I feel like maybe if British Bulldog gets it, that this will be the end of, this is kind of where the end of the roads meet. So, I mean, who did you have in mind?
I have British Bulldog in mind. And now as you're talking, I do think that Triple H guess is good. And I do think there's one other, now that you've mentioned a few things, I have a really good contender in my mind. I want you to pick yours first. And I'm basically going to pick the other.
I was going to say, I don't like going first because I feel like whatever. I'm glad that you said my guess is good because I feel like I would say something and then you'd say something obvious.
I can go first.
I'm going to go with, I feel like I'm going to stick with Bulldog.
That's a safe bet.
I'm going to go with the conservative.
And I think that he'll be in the match. And I think that Owen Hart will be the first European champion.
And he's still going to carry his slammy around it's a
hierarchy. He might use the slammy to win it. I don't know. But I think the easy safe bet is British Bulldog. I was going to go with it.
Do you think that they're going to verse each other in the
title? That's what I'm saying. So that's what I think is going to happen. Because they're going to end up at the championship. I guess it would further along their issues and make sense story-wise.
I feel like maybe we shouldn't do predictions. I mean, we should. But at the same time, we're typically right, so it kind of ruins it for people that don't know what's going on.
We're not that much right, though.
We're kind of like Undertaker's record right now since we started watching. It's obvious, but then
when we get to the point where we know, we'll stop making the predictions, I think.
We probably are 50 out of 50. Yeah, who knows? It's going to be Flash Fun.
We know wrestling, but we don't know, like, really what they were thinking back then in some of these. So, and tonight's a prime example. We'll get to that.
How many beers did you bring?
I got one more here, and there's one more there. We'll be good. We're halfway through. So what do we got next?
Savio Vega versus Marco. We have... Oh, we didn't finish that match. So, Leif Cassidy versus The Rock. We'll get into that match for the IC title. Obviously, like, spoiler alert. Rocky's not dropping this title. We know that. But he does he goes off the top turnbuckle, which we've seen previously, and he does a pretty nice crossbody. And he does it pretty well for an early up-and-comer, but he ends up getting the shoulder breaker for the win, and Rocky Maivia retains the Intercontinental title. And next, we have a in-ring promo with Goldust and Marlena.
Right, and another big pop for Goldust. She actually gets interviewed a bit here, and
he does first.
Well, he does first, and he's basically saying that he's, Triple H has made this personal, and he's gonna beat the shit out of him, essentially. And then Marlena, cans and all, says that a lot of questions have been raised about Goldust's masculinity.
Yeah.
And that he is more man than you'll ever be, Triple H.
Yeah, he said he's man from his gold hair down to his gold shoes.
Yes.
And the crowd pops, man. They love how anytime someone references that Goldust is straight, you see guys like, I told you, bro, I wasn't gay for liking Goldust, dude.
Yeah. And more over than he's ever been. But
can I say something?
Yes.
Goldust during this interview, as Marlena's speaking, he's almost like what do you call if she's the dominatrix, are they the dominee?
Sub, I believe it is.
They're the sub?
Submissive.
Submissive.
Yeah.
So he's like on his knees, actually during his interview for the most part, and then during that. But I kind of like Goldust when he was a little bit more flamboyant.
Oh yeah, love flamboyant guys. Shawn Michaels. We're missing all our flamboyancy that we had. We're just sinking in our lack of flamboyancy. Smart joke.
The WWE 2K, when you create an entrance, there is a music called Flamboyant.
It's probably...
I think I'm cute. I know I'm flamboyant.
I got the looks. Drives all the guys.
Just drives the people. Wow.
then we get some Triple H coming out, right?
Yeah, right after he comes out and he's ringside, throws water at Goldust, and
Which
Goldust
really, like, he might
acts
be a
like
witch.
it was poison.
Yeah, he might be a witch, and it might starts melting.
Yeah, he might be a gremlin.
Yeah, it could be that too. Then Goldust gets in, or Triple H gets in there, starts beating up Goldust.
Hits him with a pedigree.
And some giant, the ninth wonder of the world comes in again.
Yes.
It just bear hugs Marlena for a while.
China is coming back out, and let's talk China for a minute.
Yeah, she comes out of the crowd again, hugs Marlena from the back, and just kind of shakes her a bunch. Marlena definitely loses a baby in this situation.
Definitely. We talked about Marlena getting beat up, and she's like holding her stomach. I'm like, and I think we talked about this couple episodes ago. We're like, oh, she definitely lost that child. But now, if she's pregnant again, she definitely lost that child.
Right, and they do reference later that Marlena was in the hospital coughing out blood. So, very possible.
What if we're right about this? Let's talk China for a minute, though.
China. You know that Donald Trump's the only president so far to have ever been Stone Cold Stunner?
Yeah, probably. I mean, but not as president.
No, but before he was president.
Yeah. I think Hillary Clinton, when she was a lawyer out in Arkansas, well, she was never a president.
No.
I think she got.
Oh, you went to that. You went to that alternate future that we made. We had to redo everything,
dude.
Yeah.
We opened up a. Yeah. There's some. Yeah, we're gonna
talk about loving cans.
Yeah.
You're welcome, America.
Yeah. Would you bang China?
Not like in '97, and I'm now.
Well, you get the picture.
Like we're in the wrestle vessel, we go back, and China's like, you want to fuck?
Let me. Not China as the Okay, let me ask you. China as the wrestler, yes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would. Because China's a wrestler.
Well, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're out at a bar.
Like '96, we're in the wrestle vessel, and she's not a wrestler.
No. Let's just say present day.
Present day, she looks like she does then.
Right here in '97, walks up to you, buys you a couple drinks, couple car bombs.
Any chick buys me drinks, I'm fucking them. No chicks buy drinks for me, buddy. You do that for me, it's over. I'm there. I got you, girl. I'll go down on you, whatever you need.
All you have to do is buy a well shot of tequila every time.
No, car bomb for sure. Or
so it's like
Patron or better tequila wise.
No, I don't like Patron.
But that's my bottom shelf. Is what I'm saying.
I think Patron is bottom shelf. I'd rather do well tequila than Patron, to be honest with you. I'll swear by that because I think Patron is like absolutely terrible. I think it's just mass produced. It's garbage.
You don't think the well tequila is mass produced? You think that's a craft tequila that they're getting for $10 a bottle?
No, I know it is, but I'm spending $6 instead of $14.
Oh, it's the price. It's the price you're talking.
It's not worth the price.
Right.
I would say that for sure.
I feel
it is
there.
Not worth the price. To get this straight, if I'm a chick at the bar and I buy you a drink, you're gonna bang me. But if I buy you a car bomb, you're eating my pussy.
Yeah. I'll do the car bomb out of your pussy.
Oh, dude. Hey, somebody hit him up. Somebody just buy him a drink. I might just throw a wig on and buy you a car bomb.
Well, you better have a pussy.
And let you do it outside my asshole. Sir, I'm going to need to do a car bomb inside your asshole. So, yeah, China comes out. Basically, Marlena has a miscarriage in ring. And we move on to the headbangers coming out.
Who are they against? They're just beating some jobbers, I bet.
Yeah, but we get the debut of the Hardy Boyz.
Oh yeah. Not looking like the Hardy Boyz we would know. They look like a mid-90s tag team.
No, we'll put
they've got long tights. They say Hardy Boyz and it says their names on each leg.
Yeah, we'll put it here. It's weird to see Jeff Hardy, man. It really is.
He's got the shortest hair I think we've ever seen him have.
No tattoos. I don't think either of them have tattoos.
No.
This was when Matt was broke.
Yeah, it was a big money.
If you're falling in on EC or AEW, then you'll understand.
Basically, I mean, the match is like the headbanger. They're jobbing for the headbangers, like we thought. But the headbangers just beat Matt up the whole time. Then he tags Jeff in. Jeff lands like 2 drop kicks and then gets beat up and pinned.
Yeah. And he takes, Jeff Hardy takes a clothesline, and typically sometimes when wrestlers like do a backflip during that and they sell it really well, he sold it very well.
Yeah, he does. You can tell they're good.
Well, just by that maybe, but like they got their ass kicked the entire match.
We also know they're going to be really good, which is crazy too. Like, I don't think they win the titles for like another year and a half. Like, so they're going to be learning and jobbing for a while. And this tag team division is going to suck for a while before we can get to any.
Well, we'll probably lose British Bulldog and Owen Hart, and then how long do we ride with Philip LaFawn?
I think that's not done. I think this is as high as they're going. And
I agree.
I think like the tag teams left. The Headbangers, they might win the title at some point. The Godwins have been kind of gone. I think Edge and Christian got to show up soon, like in a year. But I don't know I have no idea what happens with the tag division for the next year or so. We will see, I guess.
Sure. Bart and Billy Gunn are done.
They're done.
We haven't seen Billy
Maybe
Gunn.
Maybe you get the New Age Outlaws. Maybe they'll be coming this year at some point, and yeah, maybe I can see my baby tonight.
Yeah, we need more Double J because I'm pretty sure we see Honky Tonk coming up here later. Yeah. And then we go to the main event, Sycho Sid versus Bret Hart. Here are my notes. If you want to do that, I'm going to take a quick whiz.
Sure. So, so thank God we're getting this match now. They did mention this earlier that Sycho Sid did come out and do a promo after, the injury saying, I'm going to get my shot. I'm going to have this match. So they did promise it. Bret Hart, Sycho Sid comes out first. He's all amped up, all wet and shit from his shower. And he is in the ring. Bret Hart starts coming out for his part of the match. And as he's walking right before he gets back onto the entrance ramp, Stone Cold starts beating the shit out of him again. And a bunch of refs trying to stop it. Sycho Sid runs in from the ring surprisingly fast, starts throwing punches. Vince is back there. Vince is breaking up the fight. Everything's going haywire. Refs stopping everybody. We don't know what the hell's going on. And then it's like, okay, well, I thought this was the main event and this was going to happen, but no, I guess it's not. But then the next thing that happens is it cuts to Gorilla Monsoon, and he is saying that Stone Cold is very close to the edge of crossing the line here, which I think he crossed a while ago, but he's given him another chance, and he says, we're not like other people. We will have this show go on. We are going to have this match tonight. So I guess they were going to have this match and then have the next match after that be Flash Funk versus Owen Hart, because that's what happens next.
You said, I was going to say, like, go to shut the door next year. Yeah, he's all wet and shit.
He's wet. He's a very wet guy.
Yeah, he is a very wet guy. He's not like, sometimes like they'll wear like baby oil and shit. No, he's just wet.
Yeah, there's a shower right there for him.
He's almost like the executioner when he fell into that fountain.
Yeah, they never flip him upside down.
Yeah.
His boots.
Can you imagine if they flip him upside down, the amount of boots?
It'd be wild.
I love wrestling, man.
Wrestling's the best. And so thank God they had another match planned, because we don't have to wait a little longer now for this. And it is Flash.
This could be a main event. Main event.
Could have been a
Flash
main
Funk
event,
going
I guess,
on.
for some reason. But so Flash Funk comes out with the Funkettes, lime green outfit again. Owen Hart comes out carrying both tag titles and the Slammy.
I thought both tag titles was a little weird.
Yeah, he's kind of getting a little big headed here.
Mm-hmm.
Clarence Mason is there, but British Bulldog is not with him.
Very narcissistic, if you will. Yeah.
I'd agree.
And a Slammy.
And a Slammy. He's got them all. He's got all the
But
awards.
he's got to go.
Imagine having also a European Championship. Looks pretty good.
Someone needs to kill this guy.
Whoa! Too soon, man.
Owen's new onesie a little bit. He's got on the side of Owen's trunks, he has like him slamming somebody, right?
It's his Slammy award.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's the actual award, and now it's
Slammy
gold.
winner, but now it's all in gold. Yeah,
it's now in gold.
And he's got
no
gold
one's
trim.
milked this award more than Owen Hart.
I don't think anybody's ever claimed the Slammy award except for him, which apparently he stole from Shawn Michaels.
Oh, so I need to. Probably should talk about this off air, but since we're talking about it, So I had a buddy text me drunk at the bar the other day, and he's like, "Hey, who is the Russian guy that was in WWE in the early 2000s?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know." And I'm like, he's probably thinking this guy's probably not Russian, right? So I'm thinking my friend's like hammered, like the guy's probably like Yugoslavian or he's probably Turkish, really. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like thinking, I'm trying to think of like who the wrestlers were back then. And I'm like thinking, and I'm like, it's gotta be, and I'm like just making sure, I'm like, it's not Rusev, is it?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, it's not that. I'm like, if I'm remembering like early 2000s, I think that's when I fade away from wrestling, but I'm like, I think there's a guy named, Vladimir or something, right? He's like, oh yeah, that's it. So I'm like, I'm gonna look him up to make sure that is the exact wrestler. And I looked up on Wikipedia. He's like Slammy Award winner. And I'm like, dude, everyone wins a Slammy.
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess somebody's got to win them. Only person who really milked it though is Owen Hart here. So in the match, they interrupted probably 3 separate times. One of which is for Paul Heyman, the CEO and president of Extremely Crappy Wrestling, or ECW, or Extreme Championship Wrestling, whatever you want to call it. He calls King and basically accepts his challenge.
And this is live, by the way. So King calls out the CEO of a different wrestling company, and then immediately he just sees it, and then he's like, calls in on WWE. He's like, get me live now so I can talk to the King during this.
Jerry the King Lawler.
During this, what's supposed to be the main event.
You think he would have called at the same time if it was Sycho Sid versus Bret Hart? Like, how would he?
If I know Paul Heyman, yes.
Yes.
So basically, Paul Heyman is saying that he's accepting King's challenge, and he's going to bring his guys to.
Which I'm excited for Monday next week in New York, I believe. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean ECW right now has great wrestlers, like
great
Hall of Famers.
Great for them.
You don't think Sabu's like a Hall of Famer guy?
Sabu is a Hall of Famer guy. But
you don't think
I don't think that any of these guys are like great wrestlers. I just think they're crazy badasses. They're like, we'll do crazy shit. Like, do you think anybody in ECW are like, oh, that was a really great wrestler? Only one I would really think is Rob Van Dam.
It would, yeah, Rob Van Dam.
The rest of the guys were just hardcore badasses. Like Sabu.
Yeah, but
they're
in a league of their own. Though.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they're like. You're not saying that. I mean, they are Hall of Famers because of how crazy. Like, do you think the Sandman was a great technical wrestler, or Sabu was a great technical wrestler?
My argument is, do I really need to know if they can do a great figure 4 when they're dropping off of like 2 tables?
No, that's badass.
Like, why waste your time with like?
What about the Blue Meanie? He was mentioned.
Yeah, fuck the Blue Meanie. Actually, no, I don't have hate for the Blue Meanie. I don't. Blue Meanie, if you're watching this, because I know you are, I don't have hate against you. It's just like the characters, it's silly, right? I get it. Like, that's just what it is. But no, I think he's actually, I've watched interviews with the Blue Meanie. He seems like a really good guy. And like, that was his character.
Robert loves the Blue Meanie. Got to put him up for the people who don't know.
We'll put up the Blue Meanie.
The BWO.
Do you see the shirt in the back?
Do you got a BWO shirt?
No, but it was in the crowd, and the guy kept pointing to BWO.
Well, that's cool. But yeah, that's going to happen. I'm excited for that. Carrying on with the match, Clarence Mason and Owen get into a little bit of a tiff outside the ring, and British Bulldog comes out and throws Clarence Mason out. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. He's my partner. I'm going to take care of him.
Yeah, so there was a spot, to what you were saying. Owen Hart and now Clarence Mason are beefing because there was usually the other way around with British Bulldog. And during this, when they're having this little bit of an altercation outside the match, Flash Funk jumps off and hits Owen. And then British Bulldog, to your point, comes out and you could hear him say, you're going to cost Owen the match.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? So British Bulldog, staying humble, staying true to his partner, looking out for him. British Bulldog comes out and actually hits Flash Funk.
Yeah, so the match's going on. Flash Funk's going off the ropes, hits him in the back of the head with the slammy. Ref doesn't see it. Spinning heel kick from Owen Hart. 1, 2, 3. and they win.
Yeah.
Well, not they, but Owen Hart wins,
Right.
and British Bulldog got him the win.
Can we talk about this finish, though? Because when Flash Funk was down, British Bulldog is holding Flash Funk's leg outside the ring to make sure he doesn't kick out.
Right.
But his leg is under the rope.
Which should be a rope break, but the ref doesn't see it, I guess, is what they're going with.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's
Ref's got to see it. There's no instant replay rule in the WWF.
Now you're sounding like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But he's got a point.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
He's just, he likes to play by the rules.
Yeah, so shortly after that, we have an interview with Shawn Michaels' doctor, and Spark notes on this. He's basically saying that Shawn Michaels is actually going to avoid surgery. He's already had surgery before, and they're just going to stick with
time off, basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they're just going to do some physical therapy on his knee, and it's probably looking like it's going to be about 6 weeks.
Right. So it makes me think Shawn Michaels really just faking it. Faking it like that one Twitter account said, so he didn't have to lose to Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
Did we talk about that on the podcast?
Last episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so 4 weeks ago.
But I don't know. I do believe in. I do believe Shawn Michaels in that situation. It seemed very heartfelt. So I'm just joking on that. I mean, we teared
No,
up.
I agree with that. I agree with that. So let's talk about the main event now. Bart Gunn versus Triple H.
Thank God.
With Honky Tonk Man on commentary.
Thank God.
This is what the people wanted.
Thank God.
The match lasts about 3 seconds. Goldust comes out, and they both run into the crowd for a count out.
Bart Gunn, big win.
And that's the end of the Raw, guys. Stay tuned for our next episode.
No.
Just kidding. We got the main event that was supposed to be in the beginning.
Sycho Sid.
Then it came in the middle.
So Sycho Sid comes out again all wet and shit. And he gets in the ring. Bret Hart's music hits. He starts walking out. And he makes it to the ring. And the match starts. And it goes. Like, for a while.
What are we doing with Stone Cold now?
He's almost at the edge. He doesn't want to interfere here. So we're
okay, because he cheated in the Royal Rumble. Then kind of cheated in the Final Four. Interfered with this match twice now. Why are we not quarantining him or handcuffing him to a pole or
Stone Cold on a pole match?
I would much rather see Stone Cold almost in a Houdini
Straight jacket?
We have straight jackets in the inventory,
we
right?
got
We saw
straight
Mankind in a
jackets,
straight jacket.
Yeah.
Why not put him in there and then try to get him out, or he does something with the refs?
Why
steals
doesn't
the key
Mankind
and-
just hold on to Stone Cold until he's ready to go? Where's Mankind been? I haven't seen him.
He's been pulling his hair out in
the
Saudi
bowl.
Arabia
Licking
somewhere.
pipes. He's been licking pipes.
Where were they at when he was doing that?
That was in Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
Or, something like or no, Kuwait.
There was Kuwait.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So Bret Hart. It's a pretty even, conservative match, but then after a while, Bret Hart starts to take advantage of the injured knee by Sycho Sid, and he's
Pretty
doing
sweet.
a lot of heelish moves
He
here.
has a pretty sweet figure four through the ring post.
It was
Totally illegal.
correct.
Remember
It was
that-
cool, but it wasn't. He didn't really have it all the way.
Yeah, he kind of had to readjust a couple times.
Yeah.
Remember? So do you remember? I don't remember his name. I think he was a Japanese wrestler, and his one main finisher was the tarantula, and it was where he would basically wrap the guy in the ropes, and it was a submission, but he literally never won with it because it was illegal because he only had a 5 count to do it.
I don't.
Oh man, when we get to that, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But it's one of those things. It's kind of a pointless thing to do because you literally can't win with it. Because you only have 5 seconds to do it.
Right, but I don't even think when he was doing the figure four that the ref was even counting.
Well, he made him break it immediately. He came down and said, well, started counting, and then it cut to commercial.
Well, it's you can just count from 5 inside the ring and said you come out, come to the ring,
Right.
tell him to stop for 5 seconds, and then you start counting. It's
Right.
dude, poor Sycho Sid, if this was actually legit, just count to 5. Now he's been in this thing for 20 seconds.
Yeah, but you don't want to, again, Sycho Sid probably didn't want to, risk, if he won that with DQ, he still would have lost the belt. He wouldn't have the belt.
Sure. I'm sure he was thinking of that. But we get back in the ring, and Sycho Sid starts to take a little bit of momentum here. This is the first time I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sycho Sid is off the turnbuckle, middle turnbuckle, mind you, but off the turnbuckle and does a leg drop.
Pretty good move for him.
I would agree. But Sycho Sid gets thrown out of the ring shortly after, and you guessed it, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out and starts beating up Sycho Sid. They get him kind of out of the way, and Bret Hart ends up reversing a roll-up from Sycho Sid into a sharpshooter, and he's holding it there for a good maybe 30 seconds or so, would you say?
Yeah, it's a good amount of time. He doesn't tap. Thankfully, the ref's very much paying attention to Sycho Sid and making sure he doesn't tap here.
Okay, let's talk about this too. Because every time like someone's in a submission, the ref is always like, tap if you need tap if you need tap.
The ref actually taps this time.
I thought it was Sycho Sid was tapping him out the whole time, but it was Earl.
Yeah.
He was tapping. He kept.
He was
tapping.
showing him how you would tap if you wanted to give up. Like he didn't know that already.
Imagine like being on the edge of something. You're like, I got this, and then you have the ref that's supposed to be like neutral. And he's just like, you should tap, bro.
Yeah.
You should tap. And like that's not gonna. I mean, if this was real, like this. Imagine the UFC if some like, you know,
Tap, bro.
Just do this. Yeah, exactly. So Sycho Sid is holding on, and Stone Cold grabs a chair and hits Bret Hart in the head, and the ref does not see it. Surprise, surprise. So Bret Hart is barely on his feet, barely standing up. Sycho Sid has no idea what's going on, looks around at Bret Hart, and sees an opportunity. Lands a power bomb for a slow
pin.
1. This is slow count.
Why
2.
is he
This is in
so
real
slow?
time.
It's not like he's
This
hurt.
is in real time. 2. 3.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
And new
What are
World
they
Wrestling
doing
Federation
with it?
champion Sycho Sid. This is why we're wrong 50% of the
because
time.
nobody saw this coming. And then immediately I said, Robert, I know what's going to happen now. And then before I could get my thought out, it goes, doom. Lights go out. Undertaker comes out, face to face with Sycho Sid, equal heights. And as I was about to say to Robert, I think this is the WrestleMania main event. I think we're going to get Stone Cold Bret Hart separately as like a grudge
Co-main
match.
event.
Yeah, co-main event grudge match, probably the better match of the two. And, you know, I'm not trying to say that Undertaker's 100% going to win, but we know he has a 23-0 streak.
We talked about that. Well, you mentioned like, well, Undertaker's going to WrestleMania, like, but everybody knows his streak was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Had this been Fastlane, it might have been a different outcome.
And there could be a fast line. We could still be wrong on this, but that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, that's why I say like these predictions kind of suck because it's like
But we're still
we were wrong here. We're going to be right here.
We might
Yeah.
be wrong again. We have no idea.
So
We just keep saying something's going to happen until it happens. Like we said, like 4 different times, Bret Hart was going to win the title, and he didn't until just yesterday, and now he's already lost it.
Yes.
So we don't know what we're talking about yet, really.
Also, as Bret Hart, it's like, where do you see? Imagine it's like, all right, you finally got the title. It's like, you're gonna lose on Monday Night Raw. But I guess this is good because, like me, I don't like.
It does build the hatred that he would have for Stone Cold, and makes this like we really want to see it, because now, like, so he would have. I mean, obviously, he would have needed to defend it to Stone Cold at WrestleMania for it to be legit, and you know maybe you know they don't think Stone Cold's ready to main event WrestleMania at this point, which is fair. But I don't think Sycho Sid should main event WrestleMania ever. So I think that would have been a better match. But I also do think,
especially now,
I do think here's also a thing. I think they want it to be, if it's going to be Undertaker, Sycho Sid, they want it to be like that WrestleMania moment where like the face wins the title and it's a big moment. And Undertaker's had a rough year, and now and he mentions it actually, and I think we didn't talk about it, but at the pay-per-view, and when he does his promo, he says, he's like, I've almost got my edge back. It's not quite there, but I'm close to the Undertaker that dominated WWF since in the early 90s. So I think that's kind of what it's alluding to. And maybe that's the case here. So excited to see that. Want to see if he can botch a tombstone to Sycho Sid. Want to see Robert's reaction to it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I know how wet he's going to be.
Yeah,
So.
he might drop some water out of his boots.
All right, let me pick your brain here, because what we've seen here in the WWF so far is like we have all these iconic guys: Stone Cold, Bret Hart. We'll even throw Vader in there, Sycho Sid, even Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart. Did I say Bret Hart already?
You might have.
These guys, you're going a full year of just like matches that are just like flaky wins, people coming out, ton of DQs, night after night on Monday Night Raw. I'm just ready for a clean match. You know what I mean?
Would be nice.
Like, do we need to wait till WrestleMania to finally get... I know that you don't want to, like,
make
anybody look soft.
We did have a couple, and those were the best matches we saw. Like, Bulldog Shawn Michaels in the second one.
When we started was good,
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, all this has just been, like, DQ, he's in the way, like, there's no rules, as Bret Hart would say. Like, there's no rules at WWE.
Well, I think they're in a I think it's a tough spot for them because they have really 4 main event guys, really, at this point, and Stone Cold's about to be one. But they got Shawn Michaels, who's like the poster child. Yeah, he's out now. But he can't lose clean. If he loses clean, all the credibility's gone. Unless it's to Bret Hart.
Right, but why not?
He can't lose clean.
Why not?
Because...
I get, but it's like, okay, if he can't lose clean... But everybody else can't lose clean either?
No, that is what's weird.
Annoying.
But I'm saying those 2 guys can't lose clean because they could lose clean to each other. But they can't have anybody else actually be better than them and be heels, like if they're the faces. If they do...
I get the structure of it.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, now that we have these guys who are like, well, we can't have, like, Sycho Sid...
And you can't have Sycho Sid...
There has to always be something.
You probably can't have Sycho Sid lose clean because he won't let it go that way because he's insane. And he's this physical specimen, and you have to have credibility for him, and clearly they've had this plan for him to, like, have a hell of a 6-month stretch where I thought he was going to be a plug-and-play guy that, like, was never going to do anything.
Well,
so, like, that's why he can't lose clean.
If
he would have lost clean in any of these cases, then it wouldn't have mattered. And he's like out, like it doesn't, like no, I'm not going to get pumped for it because he already lost clean to this guy. And then, like, you have to understand too, the wrestling fan of the mid '90s isn't like as smart as us these days. So it's also people are big Sycho Sid fans. Like you see the people in the stands with Sycho Sid. It's not because he's a good wrestler. It's because he seems like a dominant person because he hasn't lost clean.
It's the guys that are Yankee fans, Duke fans, and what have you.
And there's a ton of those people, and it's kind of like the Undertaker's the other guy. He hasn't lost clean either. Only kind of once, but it wasn't quite.
Yeah, but I feel like
it was all Mankind, but Mankind got over because of that. But Undertaker didn't. He lost to us a little bit of like respectability, and maybe to the other fans from what he's saying. But I think they have so few main event guys that they have to protect them all, and that's why it's running into this problem.
Is this because let me ask this. Do you think that that's the writers, or do you think that that's the superstars being big ego-headed saying, if I lose clean, I'm going to lose all my credibility? Because basically these guys right now in the company, they're the next guy. Right. Sycho Sid thinks he's the next guy. I'm sure Vader still thinks that he's the next guy. Stone Cold kind of knows he's the next guy. Yeah. Bret Hart thinks he's owed to be the champion because he came back. So you have all
I think
these
it's
guys.
A little bit of both, and I think
so. Like, do you think as writers are like, all right, we're gonna have you lose this match over here, and they're like, oh no, it can't be clean,
right?
Or is that the writers saying like, we can't have it be clean? So what I mean. But
it's
as
a little bit
as
of
the
both,
viewer, it's just a no.
But I bet it's a slippery slope because I bet the guy's like, well, why didn't you have him lose clean last week? Now you're gonna make me lose clean? Oh no, never mind. We'll figure something out. And it's just, it's not great. It's not like this is the worst probably the worst stretch of WWF. Like, this is the only time in our lifetimes, really, that they were the second-tier promotion in the world. Otherwise,
that is true.
From June of this year, or June 96, to about December 97, or maybe early 98, WCW is the number one show. They've got the stars. They can do whatever they want.
Okay, let's just say this.
And then they fall into the problem of letting the superstars do whatever they want.
And then having them run the show. Yeah, I get that. But it's like, as a viewer, right? Like, we're watching this. It's kind of easy to predict. And then it's like...
You keep saying that, but we're consistently...
True, but no. But what I mean by easy to predict means there's going to be fuckery involved all the time. So it's just like, why actually watch... Like, wrestling is just like, I want to see two guys put on a good match. Somebody gets over,
but that's
somebody
not
gets
what it
under.
was back then.
But it's been this for such a long time. Like, do we really need to just get, like, fuckery until April for WrestleMania, and then fuckery until April until WrestleMania?
Might be fuckery at WrestleMania. I know there's been fuckery at WrestleMania. It doesn't always a clean, like,
Yeah,
especially
no,
what you
true.
realize,
I'm just
because I
saying.
watched some of these, and you probably have too. These pay-per-views aren't that great compared to pay-per-views now, or like in 10 years. They have that fuckery in WrestleMania. Like, it's not that big at the early mid to late 90s.
Yeah, but I feel like as a consumer and a viewer, like, you know there's going to be fuckery. Monday Night Raw is for fuckery, but I feel like pay-per-views is for clean matches unless that fuckery is very unexpected.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to make like a pop, like a, oh my god, like, you know, we really look forward to this title match, right? Oh my god, I can't believe the return of so-and-so.
From what I know is going to happen for the next 5 years, there's going to be a lot of fuckery, dude. So you better strap your.
Yeah,
you better get them condoms on, Robert. About to be a lot of fucking going on.
I don't know. We'll stay tuned, but it's just like, this can't last forever. And I would, as a consumer back in the 90s, like, if this is what the content that they're going to keep putting out, where it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's good. Like, sometimes it's good, but like, when it's been, 8 times in a row, and you know that, like, it's not going to be a clean match.
I think it's just
annoying.
It's just the people and the match qualities. I think it will be better as it gets in. We get some DX, we get some better rock, we get some NOD that's badass. It'll get good, and we are on the right track. It's still keeping us guessing. We don't know.
Well, they did keep us guessing because Sycho Sid is now the new champion, and I tip my hat. I would be kind of even more mad. Well, I don't know. No, I would be like more like it's the same missionary mundane.
Right. What we thought was going to happen was Stone Cold's going to come in and Bret Hart was going to win via DQ, and no, it didn't. So I'm happy with that.
Sure. I just think they could have done... If you are going to have Stone Cold interfere again, why not have him, like, chained up in the back and somehow he breaks out? Like I said, he's handcuffed, he beats up a ref, finds the key, you see him unlocking it, and then you leave it at that, and then 10 minutes later he comes out.
Way too complicated.
It's a title shot. And the title switches because of Stone Cold. Why not
What they
make him...
want, I mean, that's what's going to happen.
But it seems like the WWE
What
did
didn't make sense
absolutely
to me is
nothing
that-
to keep Stone Cold away. And they even talked, Gorilla Monsoon goes, he's this close to getting kicked out. Like, he's...
Should have been kicked out, yeah. But this is what we want.
Like, kick him out of the arena, and then he comes out of the crowd. Like, there's just little things that they could have done.
In the crowd, didn't he?
I don't know. But then kick him out of the arena then. Instead, like, he's been banned from property, and it shows him, like, pulling up and
like cutting a hole in the ceiling and
whatever.
himself.
Like, this could have been a 10-second segment of him, like, sneaking in, and then it would have gave the WWF more credibility that, like, they didn't just, like, Stone Cold, go back to the locker room. All right. No need to keep an eye on him. He'll be fine during this match. Because he already ruined it.
He
2
pinky promised
times
this
in one
time
night.
that he wouldn't do it. Third strike, you're out.
Then show the pinky promise, bro.
They should have showed the pinky promise. I agree.
I don't think anyone would be a fan of Stone Cold.
I also am pretty sure
Gorilla
Gorilla Monsoon doesn't last much longer, and this could be the reason. And then, you know what's weird too is another big thing that's a change, and I think plays along with a lot of the fuckery, is that the authority figure becomes a heel, and you hate him, and so the fuckery is hated, and so it is more acceptable almost, because the authority is allowing it because it's them doing it. I think that also plays in later. Is why it works better. Because it's
I think that's organic, though.
Right.
I think
That's what
that
I'm
it's
saying.
going
That's why it
on,
works.
and people
Yeah, that's
hate
why it
Vince
works.
because of
Right,
this stuff.
right.
And he's like, okay, I'm now
Right.
a heel.
It's
But
like if
you were
you're
a heel
if
because
you're
of
Gorilla
this.
Monsoon allowing people to do this and you're the face, then you have no credibility because
Right.
you should be stopping this because you
Okay.
have the power. But if you're the heel and you want this stuff to happen and people hate you, then it's all working as planned. So we got to figure it out.
Yeah. I guess let the chips fall where they may, right? And it kind of works out. Kind of. I'm not doing that.
Good night, and God bless wrestling.